interesting.
It is. This is our thankful week. So we're being thankful and mindful of not necessarily celebrating that holiday itself, but mindful that we're just thankful that we're able to gather together. And so this week, our recipe is a request of Caroline, who's not here, but Caroline, this one is for you as well.
She was saying, let's do some Chinese food. And we were thinking about something we could do for baking.
That's it. And here is what was suggested, is the bao. So we're going to start actually with the filling. How many people on the call make bao or have made bao before? Anybody? No. No, nobody.
Never, ever.
It's going to be an adventure and a half, so it's all right. Okay, so we're going to start with the,
just buy it.
What's that, Mary?
I just buy it.
Okay, that's all right. So, well, let's give it a try. We're really gonna give it a go.
Yeah.
And right off to the side here, Jennifer keeps bringing us cool dishes, so we will show you what we are doing.
We needed a steamer.
We needed a steamer, so Jen brought us this cool steamer. Jen, you want to come say hi? No, she's leaving. All right, but she brought us this excellent steamer, and we appreciate it.
We had one that was the traditional wooden one. We couldn't find it, so we actually had some members help us out last minute.
We did, and so huge thank you. Was it Mabel?
And Jen tied it all together. Mabel and Jen.
So thank you, both of you ladies are the best. We appreciate you.
We're just unsure if the metal type would work on our induction stove, so we will try them out.
Yeah, we'll just give it a go. But before we do that, maybe we should go through these recipe ingredients. We're going to start with the recipe ingredients for the bao dough, and then we're going to move right into the char siu filling, which is the barbecue pork filling. So for your bao dough, what you're going to need is 1 cup of water. You need 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of yeast, 2.5 cups of bread flour, 5 tablespoons of sugar for the yeast.
Slow down. 2.5 cups of flour.
Yeah. And then a 1/2 cup of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of pork fat if you want, or you can use butter, softened butter. And last thing is 2 teaspoons of fine sea salt.
Yeah. So we wanted to be pro, and we could have used butter, but we actually spent only $2, and it was like pork skin and fat.
We rendered it.
We were here at 5 in the morning.
At the crack of dawn.
3 in the morning.
We rise at dawn.
Anyway, we were here rendering the fat in the morning. The whole place smelled like delicious bacon.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing.
Oh
Bacon
my
and
God.
coffee. You can't go wrong.
You
with
can't
those
go wrong.
smells.
Lots of people love bacon on the call.
Yeah. And so we did that proper.
Yep.
She was mixing and
I was mixing. I was not baking.
well, and our yeast wasn't happy, so we kind of had to figure that out. The only thing we didn't make ourselves was the char siu, because it was a lot of steps and a lot of like hoisin sauce, and sauces we don't have that I'm not sure would be worth buying. You can buy this stuff pre-made at any Asian grocery store.
And so we got it at TNT,
yeah.
which is the bomb. So we got some amazing, and he cut it for us fresh yesterday, so we have it.
The pork, yeah.
So let's talk about how you would
So you want to
make the filling here. So I've got the filling recipe here. So if you are going to make the char siu yourself, you need 2 cups of the char siu. So that's a totally separate recipe in which you would have to actually like roast that pork.
But for the filling, you need this somehow. So you buy it first or not. But
absolutely.
And then
you need the rest of the ingredients with it, which are, Carl, do you want to give it to us?
So we got 2 cups of the meat, 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, 2 shallots.
2 shallots.
We got a box of them. 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, which is one of the only things we bought for today,
Yum.
other than the pork. 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce.
Yes.
They call for a dark soy sauce. We're going to use what we've got.
Use what you have.
1/2 cup of water and more flour to help thicken the sauce as we boil it down, because it is a filling.
It is.
And we don't want it to run everywhere. We want to be able to spoon it into our little pastries. The fun part, I think, will be the folding, because there's certain ways to do the top.
Oh, you're
Real
talking,
fancy,
he's talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
the bao dough now, but
Well, when we get there,
we will
we
see
do.
how we do. I am very excited and looking for your hot tips for
Yeah.
the folding. So we
So-
will do this together.
Would you call this winging it?
We
Or-
are definitely.
Or
winging it.
half winging it.
I don't know. I would just say winging it and go for the gold with that one.
All right.
But we are going to start with the char siu filling. So the first thing we're going to do actually is I'm going to have Carl start with chopping up the shallots.
Yep.
Super duper
That's what I
fun.
like to do.
So he's going to chop. I'm going to move the char siu out to the side. So the first thing we're going to do is do this because the filling actually has to cool before you put it in the bun. So we're definitely going to chill it down in the fridge beforehand. So he's going to go ahead and start by chopping that up really, really, really fine.
Right?
I am going to go ahead and grab the char siu and start chopping that. So can we chop on the same board or should I get a set? I'm going to get a separate board.
You know, we're both so competitive.
We are competitive and we love.
Okay, what is char siu?
So it's barbecued pork, Chinese style. It's just, I think the name literally translates to like barbecue pork or something. Somebody can correct me there.
Stella, what is the actual translation of char siu?
That's good.
Barbecue pork.
Yeah.
There you go.
barbecue pork.
Perfect. Exactly.
So it's just, you know, it's a very different kind of coating. Right?
It is a different kind of coating on it. It's got a specific flavor profile.
I think that's the hoisin sauce and the other.
Yeah, it's like a little bit sweet, a little bit salty.
Yeah.
Does anybody make their own char siu on the regular? Anybody on this call?
No.
No?
No, but I mean, if any of those butcher shops or grocery stores where you see the actual pig just hanging up, that's where they cut it from.
Yeah.
Right? And it was great. Yeah,
Oh,
it was really
it's so
fresh when
even
we
now
got it.
it's like super juicy. So like it's a good texture of the meat. I don't know if you folks can see on my board. I'm kind of in the
No, I'm
corner.
not gonna show you.
You're not going to show me. You're going to hog it, but that's okay. So we are going to chop this
One
up.
whole hog.
2 cups. I know. I'm
I
not
wouldn't
worried
do
about that.
to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
But I think surprisingly, these things are going to be pretty straightforward to make as long as we follow the steps. My big deal is figuring out that we're actually following the steps. I mean,
Yeah, we go off recipe quite a bit.
we do. So we need to kind of stay in our lane this time because
Stay
we
in your
are
lane.
learning.
That's a good one.
It is. I'm
Stay
trying.
in your lane.
Stay in my lane.
Good life lesson.
It is a good life lesson. Well, don't go into somebody else's lane or you're just flat as a pancake. Oh, the Lord.
Like
Yeah,
me
Carl
last-
knows about that.
What, Carl knows about that?
It
Oh,
was I
Carl,
had a rough week. I
tell me
had
more.
2 bicycle accidents. And
Poor
a
guy.
whole bunch of other crap. It was just one of those weeks
One of those white
where I was just
huh?
happy to get it done with. Yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
good. I fixed my bike. I nervously rode it to work today.
And how was that nervous
A
ride?
little slower than
A
usual.
little slower, but that's all okay because
It's-
you're here in one piece.
It's,
Thank God.
it's dark in the mornings now. That's new for me, actually.
Yeah,
Just over a course of a week or two, I need my my lights and stuff.
for sure.
So you said these were gonna hurt my eyes, but they smell really sweet and beautiful.
Do they?
Yeah,
They
they're
hurt
not
my eyes. Well, they're kind of hurting my eyes right now, but
cool.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sensitive little flower here.
Because you look.
Oh
So
my gosh.
we're talking dice, like McDonald's cheeseburger dice.
I like
Little-
McDonald's cheeseburger
yeah,
dice.
those
Well, I
little
actually
tiny
preferred
onions.
McDonald's Big Mac dice, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
You
Don't
know
tell
what I mean.
anyone.
You know what I mean, the little tiny dice.
Teeny tiny, eeny meeny.
That's it, that's 2. Are you sure?
That's 2. That's 2. If that's 2, then you're done. That's all they're calling for. So
I'm
you
gonna
can
move
see.
your dough back.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, don't get too warm.
Okay,
So we're heating up the steamer already, and we're actually getting the pot ready for the sauce as well. Because again, we're doing the sauce, the filling part first is always important. They actually ask you to do this and let it sit for a while, but because we wanted to show you on camera, we are not going to let it sit for too long in between the time that we stuff it into our dough. Now my eyes are really on fire, Carl, like super on fire. I don't know. I think I'm just very sensitive. He's immune because he's a spicy little tamale over there. Something happened to him for sure. How's everyone's week going this week? How's everyone been?
Been good.
Been good? What have you been up to this week? So we're into October now. What are you doing?
Last night we were picking garbage. How's that sound?
Oh my God. Picking garbage from where?
Everybody puts out on the street before garbage like something that maybe can be recycled. And I
Oh,
little secretary desk.
oh wow.
Oh.
That's amazing. Now that
It's-
doesn't sound like picking garbage. That sounds like
Recycling.
one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah, recycling. Exactly. That's the right word. All right, so I'm gonna actually grab a bowl because we need a bowl here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a bowl.
So what I started was my shallots.
Okay,
Because
so
we want those to
you
go
wanna take this on
translucent.
over there? Because I'm just, as he's gonna make them
Whoa.
translucent or in Becca language,
Whoa.
transsucculent.
Transsucculent.
Transylvania, it's Halloween. But certainly, Carl is working on those shallots.
I am.
Yes, they're looking good. Did anybody grow shallots this year in their gardens? Probably not, hey? They're pretty fiddly.
Okay, excuse my ignorance here. How different is a shallot than onions?
Does anybody want to answer that?
They just look like narrow, weird onions to me.
Does anybody want to answer how shallots are different than onions?
I always thought they were milder.
Milder, that's the sense I'm getting.
All right.
Oh.
A little sweeter, a little milder. I find them, it's funny because I don't get bothered so much by too many onions, but if I am chopping shallots, my eyes immediately like on fire, burning. I look like, I don't know, Bloody Mary or something like that.
Sorry to.
That's okay. He's taking a look. So Carl, tell us what you're doing right now.
Medium sauce pot, heat to medium heat, toss in shallots. So I'm not adding oil, am I? I have to.
You have to add some
Yeah.
oil. Why don't
What's
you use
this
the
about?
sesame oil, Carl?
That's
Use
what
the
I'm gonna
sesame
use.
oil. So we're gonna use the sesame oil to bring some
Not
nice
sesame
flavor.
oil, sunflower.
Oh, why not sesame though?
Oh,
Why?
off recipe.
Off recipe.
No, it just says cooking oil. Sesame brings a real flavor.
I love sesame
do
oil.
too.
I like it in everything.
But you add that more at the end of dishes? Or else-
Okay.
Well, in my experience.
Okay. I don't know. I just like it. I use it. I would use everything all the time if I could.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
kind
good
of that
one, but
girl.
You can really overpower it. Wow, a steamer works.
Overpower. Gee, that doesn't sound familiar. Okay, here we go. I am, I know, sorry, I'm talking about my personality, my overpowering personality.
You know, I think the personality leads a lot into cooking style.
Does it?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
It does. Well, that's what I mean.
I
Like, I
believe
like to be kind of silly, and I think that goes into almost everything I do.
I mean, this really isn't a lot of shallots.
No, it's not. It's actually not a lot of stuff to put into the middle, but I guess because the Char Siu is, you know, just a little bit, you know what I mean, of a paste in the center. It's not like all of it.
So we're gonna get those translucent, and then
Yep.
quickly we're gonna add.
You have to
our
add some sugar.
Oyster sauce, soy sauce, water, flour. Let it thicken until it looks like a glaze.
How much sugar?
Two tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of sugar, and that's what I
Teaspoon.
teaspoon. I was gonna say I
Little
love
packets.
the little
Yeah.
like sweetness, subtle sweetness that you bring in by having sugar and salt in there together.
Yeah.
Something I really love is like the balance of these particular flavors is really, really nice.
Okay, so those are translucent. So I'm gonna
Okay,
go
add your sugar.
sugar time.
Sugar time.
2 teaspoons, not tablespoons.
And you're just using regular granulated sugar, right?
1, 2.
And I'm still chop-a-lopping here, getting through it.
Oyster sauce.
Oyster sauce. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna go next. What do we need to add? Soy sauce.
So I've added oyster sauce, soy sauce, water. Now I'm just gonna add some flour.
All right,
okay?
so he's gonna add the flour in there and we're gonna see how it's
2
gonna go.
tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. That looks like 4 tablespoons. Don't listen to me, friends. Oh, he's getting it himself. Say la vie. Here we are. So I'm really excited to see how this is looking. So I'm gonna just kind of come over here and I'm gonna tell you what it smells like. It smells like delicious is what it smells like. It actually, you still get a good level of salt, and I think it's because there's so much soy in there.
Yep.
That you're getting that level of salt. Now, do you want a whisk so that it doesn't lump up?
I got my
You've got his trusty wooden spoon, and how's it looking? What does it look like on
Now
there?
it's gonna thicken.
Yeah,
And then
without lump?
we're gonna add our pork. Yeah. It's supposed to get thickened.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, I'm just worried about lumps. I'm always a lumper.
You're a lumper?
I'm a lumper, I'm worried about lumps. Did you ever listen to that song by the presidents of the United States of America?
No.
Lump sat alone in a body much. I'm not gonna do my one woman show here. I'm sorry. I won't do that. Anyway, Google that song. It's very cute. Actually, there's a song called Peaches that I highly recommend. It's a very cute song about how there's millions of peaches. Peaches for free for everyone. I love that song. It's very cute. Here we go.
Next, pork.
Pork is next. Although it's supposed to be super dark. Do we have to cook it out first, Carl? Because usually with flour, you cook it a bit. Or go for it.
Until it's translucent. Add everything until it looks like a glaze. Fold in Char Siu.
I actually think this is, we may want to put in some more of the sugar and the, like, to loosen it.
Water.
Yeah, we may want to put in some, like, it's very, I wouldn't put water, maybe, I would add some, like, more of that, yeah. So we're gonna just go a little off recipe.
Oh, see, we knew we were gonna do it.
We knew we were gonna do it.
We screwed up.
A little more soy. And a little more sugar. You gotta do it all. All right, so this is supposed to be, still a loose.
What's your?
I don't know if the flour was just a lot of flour or what happened.
It's fine.
Here we go.
Okay, now we're gonna fold in the pork.
It's still pretty thick, do you
That's
think?
supposed to be, yeah.
That thick?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so here it goes.
Fold it, fold it.
Folding, folding. Thing is, it's not loose enough to, let's see.
And it's not the same color.
No, I think we should add a little more oyster sauce.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm like, yeah, because the flour, for sometimes with recipe ratios, the flour really affects how much you
Okay, oyster it up.
the juice needs to be a little looser.
And a glaze is not thick.
No, the glaze is not like this. Yeah, we're gonna need some more soy too, I think.
Holy moly. Here we go.
I cannot believe that the flour.
It's also maybe we didn't use the dark soy sauce.
Yeah, maybe that's too. I think that's maybe a problem as well.
You know
But that's
what?
okay.
It's
We're gonna
gonna
cook
be
it
good
up.
because it tastes the pork.
So the key is that you have to cook it out because with flour, if you don't, everybody knows what happens with flour if you don't cook it out, right?
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Good old Leonard Cohen. All right, here we go.
So, and then we just remove it from heat once it's folded in.
Yes.
Now, if you had more time, they also said you could sear the pork in a pan first. You know, that's if you want to get real fancy.
So how long do we
That's
have to
not good.
cook this out for?
We don't cook it. You just fold in the pork and
But the flour itself doesn't need more time to cook
no,
out?
just stick it. They want it until it's thick enough to spoon onto your pastries. Right?
Okay, let me taste it.
Oh, trim test.
Your test, I have to
Here we
taste.
go.
All right, let's see how this filling is. Stella, here we go. It's actually pretty tasty.
It is, right? I knew it.
Actually pretty good, guys.
Do you want to show your dough? What?
I can, yeah, we're gonna make the dough and then I'm gonna bring out the dough after. So I don't wanna show it yet.
It's a secret.
But we're gonna bring out, the next thing we're gonna do is Carl's gonna spread this onto a tray. And we're gonna put it right into the fridge so that it can cool off.
Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna cool it off. I'm gonna pull my mask back up because
You,
safety first. What's that?
you're a wild chopper.
I am a wild chopper. Is it everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
We talk about this.
It's
I am
like-
traditionally a whirlwind.
It's like a pork confetti over here.
Yeah, oh gosh.
That's over. Gives me some do.
Oh.
So you
listen.
would like a tray?
I would love a tray if that's possible. Just to spread it out so it cools out faster. Like any kind of tray or plate. Yeah, like anything like that.
Are you only cooking the pork to heat it through and cover it with glaze, or do you need to do it for a
It's
set
already-
time?
Because it's already barbecued.
It's a pre-cooked.
So it just says basically folded in after it's glazed like. So I think we're actually overdoing it a bit.
But it's okay because the reason why we're overdoing it a bit is because we didn't pre-sear it. If we hadn't pre-seared it, it would have been bad. But because we didn't pre-sear it, it's actually okay.
So all our trays are underneath.
All our trays are underneath.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay,
All right.
let's
Here we come.
clean up.
Oh, Carl's gonna clean up. We're gonna wait a second.
Here, put it here.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. I'm just turning this off.
Yeah, good idea.
All right. So in it gets. Yep, Carl's gonna bring the camera so that we can all see. So we didn't use, like Carl said, a dark soy, so this is pretty light. But you can see our filling here. Can everybody see the filling? Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a lighter color, but the good news is that if you use the dark soy, it should be a lot darker. And good. So I'm going to set this down as well, back over to the sink. Sorry, sir. There we are. All right, so putting it here. And I'm just spreading it out a bit so it's not all thick and clumpy together because we need it to just be thinner so that it can cool off. So I'm trying to just break it up here a little bit. And then we'll put it into the fridge to cool down. And then we can drop it into the freezer if we need to, but let's try it in the fridge first and see how we go.
I mean, it doesn't have to be cold.
It doesn't have to be cold. You're
Just
right.
not hot enough to start cooking.
Your bao.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, there we go. Ready spaghetti.
Let's get a good look
Let's
at
do
it. And just spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the red color has to do with if you made your own char siu yourself, with your own pork.
Yeah. And that's when you'd sear it as well.
Exactly.
Don't show them
I
yet.
got it
That's
so
for
big.
later.
No, it's
No,
not.
no, no, no.
Okay.
Okay, so first thing we're gonna do,
Soy and oyster sauce.
surprise. I wanted you guys to see us make it, and then we bring out
Oh,
the
you're
thing
gonna
at the
make
end.
it
Yeah,
now.
we have to make it now.
More dough.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's do this. So the next
Okay.
thing we're gonna do, yeah,
So this is something you'd want to actually do first, right?
yes. So this actually sets up for about an hour and a half before you start.
Yeah,
So you need
we
to
had
make
to
sure-
pre-make it today.
Yeah. So
It's
we
a
are.
very special episode today.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we did a lot of pre-making today, but this was a special request. So the first thing that we need to do, and I need to see the recipe if that's okay, Carl. I'm gonna steal it on your phone.
My phone there.
Amazing. All right, so
Okay.
we're gonna start out first thing with the bao dough. So we need to actually set up in advance. So what you're gonna do is get a bowl and you're gonna need a cup of warm water. So Carl, you wanna just fill that up with warm water.
Sure.
There we go. And I'm gonna grab this. So we're gonna set up the yeast first. So the yeast kind of has to be alive. So Carl is actually a master of yeast, believe it or not.
Well, I
You're
know.
ready? Oh, you want to put it right in? That's fine.
Oh, whoops.
That's okay.
I know beer yeast.
Beer
And
yeast,
I
right?
knew some tricks to get it going. You
Yes.
put a little bit of sugar. You want warm water, but not hot enough to kill it.
Yes.
And you kind of give it a stir and cover it. And hopefully they start going. You'll start to see some bubbles from them waking up.
So what you do is you put in your 2 teaspoons of yeast. So
Want me to
2.
dump that in here?
Oh,
Would it be
sure.
easier?
Yeah, that would be
I
easier.
did
That would be great. No, it's okay, Carl. I don't mind at all.
It's a bit dirty.
That's all right. Here we
Dirty old
go.
water.
Dirty old water. Gee, that sounds real appetizing in our bao
No,
dough.
it's not dirty. It just has flour.
No, it just has some flour. Here we go. So 1 and 2, and Carl always recommends that you put a little bit of 1 in there with it, Carl.
Just a tiny bit of sugar. I mean, there's sugar in the dough, and that's what's gonna really start to make the yeast do its thing.
Yes.
But if you're having trouble, if you're not seeing bubbles, sometimes some of the yeast, goes dormant. It all doesn't live in the package. I think when I was doing beer yeast, you'd only get 70% of the package being like live yeast. The rest kind of die.
So I'm gonna give it some sugar right away to kind
Just
of
a little
help it
bit.
out.
Give it a little stir, and
Give it a little stir and put it over here by the hot heat.
and
Not
you-
too hot, but
and usually you let that go for how long?
10 minutes.
10
10 minutes. So I'm actually just mixing it over here by the warm stove. And I'm hoping that the heat's gonna speed it up. Obviously, we don't want it enough that it's gonna kill it, but we do want it to be a little bit foamy,
Not so chunky.
not so
I'll
chunky.
get a fork. And then
Carl's gonna get at it while I do the rest of this
Oh,
stuff.
whisk it up.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it. So while Carl's doing that, I'm gonna grab this. And our next thing to do is actually we need, Carl, I've done something with the recipe. I need your help.
Oh, you're watching my Netflix.
I'm watching his Netflix. I don't know. That's not what we need in our recipe today. So I need to have actually 2.5 cups of bread flour. So the first thing I'm gonna do is grab my bread flour. I'll just throw that in there. So I've got 3/4 of a cup here. And again, because it's baking, you do want to be pretty precise. 2 and a little bit more for 3. There we are.
I'm gonna ask an impertinent question.
Please do.
Can you buy like pizza dough or bread dough that is in the supermarket? Is that the same thing or is
I
this
think so.
different?
I believe you can, because I know you can get, You know those little square ones, they're already pre-cut?
Yeah, I
That's
think
a
it has to
different
be specific bao dough, though. I don't think it can be pizza dough, because I think it would be a pizza pocket if you did pizza dough. I think because this recipe is a little bit different because it calls for cornstarch.
Yeah, the cornstarch, and then something, I don't know if it's the steaming or the extra ingredients, but it's a really like cloudy, fluffy, if you do it right.
Yeah, it is
comes out
cloudy and
like
fluffy.
its own kind of dough. So
Yes. So
that's
now
a
I'm
good
getting
question.
my-
I don't know if you can get the pre-made.
you could see if you could get the pre-made. I bet you could get pre-made bao dough. I
Yeah.
bet you could. Stella or Mary, is that a possibility? Do you know any stores that sell pre-made bao dough?
No. No, I don't think so. You have to make your own dough.
Oh,
You gotta
okay,
jump in.
there you go.
First.
To make.
These guys are the pros, so if they're saying no, then it's a no.
I did see they had ones pre-made ready for steaming, but
Yeah.
everything was made inside. It's
Everything was
filled.
made
It was all
inside?
folded nicely.
Yeah.
And you just eat those yourself.
All right. So now I've got my 2.5 cups of flour.
Yeah.
I've got my 1/2 cup of cornstarch here, so I'm gonna get that in there. There we go. Getting corny with the
All right.
cornstarch, my least favorite thing. What's next, Carl?
Oh, you love cornstarch.
I
right?
do love cornstarch, and I love to use it for thickening.
It's the sound.
Oh, get out of here.
Squeak,
Get out of here.
squeak, squeak.
It's like nails on chalkboard for me.
Chalkboard, yeah.
I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Tablespoons bacon salt.
That's right. All right. So the next thing that we need is 5 tablespoons of sugar. So,
There's yeast food.
yeah, it is. It's yeasty food, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So we're gonna give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we are.
Teaspoons or tablespoons?
Let's see. Did I say teaspoons? Oh, it is tablespoons.
Wow.
1, 2,
It's a chocolate bar.
3, 4, and 5. Very good. 5. And then our last thing that we need is, we need our butter or pork fat. We have any of that left? We
I
put some in a
froze
cup.
it.
Yeah, let's see if we can scrape some out.
Sure.
We're gonna see if we can scrape some out.
Actually-
While Carl is doing that, I'm gonna bring out the 2.
The butter or pork fat go in at the end after you've already mixed it.
Oh,
So what
okay.
I'll do is I'll melt some of
Yeah,
this
yeah,
down
that's
for you.
cool, yeah. 1 and 2 tablespoons of salt. All right, and then I'm gonna start to mix that all together.
Tablespoons of salt? Tablespoons?
2 tablespoons of salt.
Be sure.
That's what it says right here.
Holy moly, this is a salty sweet dish.
A salty sweet dish. So it's coming down. Bam, it's in. And there we go. So I'm gonna put it on the low setting and then I'm gonna mix those ingredients together. So while we're waiting for this yeast here, it seems to be coming together pretty nicely a little bit. So I'm just moving a little closer to the heat, give it a little more time. And today we've got the mixer on the lower setting, so you can see immediately that it is mixing well and it's not too loud like it was the last time we had it on. It was super loud, which is ridiculous. What?
I'll melt down your.
Yeah, thank you, the talent. That's great. So that is the fat that we rendered this morning. We're really doing our best to make sure that it's like according to the recipe. So I hope it turns out the way that we want it to. And I'm excited to try it and see how it turns out in the end. I really, really am. It'll be nice to see how it goes. So now we're doing this. We're just getting that all mixed together. I'm going to throw this into the fridge.
So, did you add any water?
I haven't had anything yet. No, it's just the
We're
dry
just getting it
ingredients. Yeah.
So we had a bit of a problem this morning. It looked like it just needed water, but we weren't sure if it was okay to keep adding some. So apparently you can just keep adding a
Which
little,
is really good.
bit, just to see if it starts to form a dough. And then you add your butter and your pork fat at the very end.
Now this dough is looking like it's coming together, Carl. So over here, I'm just going to take it as this is going here. You can see that the yeast has started to bloom here. So I'm just going to put it here so you can see it. It started to bloom. It's starting to get a little bit foamy. So I'm going to go ahead and add it in to our dough. So you can see what happens almost immediately is that it starts to clump in the middle. So, we're not seeing it. There, now we're seeing it. You can see that the dough is immediately starting to come together. And as they said, this is supposed to run now. This dough is supposed to be mixed together for about 10 minutes. So we're just gonna let it go. This dough immediately came together like the other one did not. Take a look at this dough, Carl.
Doughy.
It's super doughy.
So would we want to add, oh, not yet, there's still some dry down there.
Yeah, there's still some dry, so we'll wait for it to see if it comes together. This is supposed to run for about 10 minutes.
It's really chugging along.
It really is.
Oh, drop the water, it looks like.
A little bit more time. I think once we put the tallow in,
Wanna?
yeah,
Now?
we can put a little bit in now. Let's see it come together. Let's see if this helps. So we're putting a bit of the pork fat in now. See if it helps with the bringing together of the dough. See?
That's a little shot.
All right.
Tiny.
A little bit more of the pork fat.
Come on.
I actually think the dough's okay, Carl.
The dry stuff at the bottom.
Do you take a look now? I don't think so. No, no. Carl, it's too wet. Oh my God.
I didn't put much. Tiny little squirt.
Now it's all mushy.
Did I wreck it?
Oh,
I wrecked it.
you didn't wreck it, but it's too mushy now. We need more flour.
Or we could just pull out the magic dough.
We will. Just give me 30 seconds here, friends.
I wrecked it.
You didn't wreck it. There's
It's
nothing, no
so-
such
it's
thing
such
as
a-
wrecking.
It's such a fine line, hey?
It's
with,
a fine line,
bacon.
yeah.
Some more fat. I think that's about
I
two.
think that's about enough there. I think that's perfect.
So they were saying let this run, what, 8-10 minutes?
8 or 10 minutes, you just let her go.
Ball it up on your counter,
Yeah,
let it sit for an hour or so, right?
yeah.
And then you got punch.
So I just put in a little bit more flour to just add a little bit of density. It's always okay to add a little water because you can always add a little more flour. It's really not a big deal.
It's almost like we gotta take it off the mixer
Yeah.
and then like mix it again.
Yeah, it's funny,
It's like
eh?
stuck.
It is. It does get stuck.
Let me get my hands dirty.
So let's see. I think this could even.
Oh,
Yeah, you see how wet it is there now.
let's get that off of there. Oh, it's doughy as heck.
Yeah.
You know, that was a different yeast you used. That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Is that the difference?
Yeah, that's a better yeast.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeasty.
So we'll add a bit more flour, just a touch.
Yeasty beasty.
There we are in there and back it goes.
Okay.
It's all about patience with this stuff. So there we are. There it comes. All right.
little dazzle.
Razzle dazzle. Razzle dazzle with the flour. Here we go. Awesome. A little bit for the dough. More dough. A little bit for Carl. Every time. He hates it. Here we go. All right. So we're pretty good here. That's just gonna mix around. And while that's done, I'm gonna set this aside. And we will take a look at our magic dough that we've already made. So Carl very kindly brought in some amazing stuff for us. It's a rolling pin and we've got some parchment. So we've got a lot of good stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this area here so that we can actually bring the dough out. We're going to grease the area just slightly. I'm going to do it right on the counter because the counter is always good for that. So we'll just a little tiny grease and a little bit of flour and we will do it. All right. So let's have a go at our finished flour dough. Want to come on over and see it, Carl? All right. So, I'm going to turn this off so that we can. Whoa! How's that for some excitement, friends? Here is the dough. So take a look right here. So this is your dough when it's actually risen up, and it looks pretty good actually. So we're going to bring it out and put it over here. And you can kind of take a look at the way that it looks here. So the first thing we need to do is punch it down. So we're going to punch it. Carl, do you want to punch it?
Oh, you give it a punch.
You sure you don't want to
Let's
give it a
see.
go? All right, so we're
Couple
gonna
good
punch it.
ones.
Couple good ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Carla, your turn. Get your angst out.
How many? You just
I think that's a good
Okay.
amount of punches.
It's just
That
like
was
a
pretty
air out,
punchy.
right?
Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna do that,
punch
and
it.
then we're gonna roll it on out. Do we have that roller?
Oh, I took it home again.
Oh, that's all right.
Nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted it, and it went home, and that's all right. Fair enough. So this is pretty. The goose is pretty loose here on
it?
this.
And I remember I'm saying you roll into a log.
Yes, you're absolutely
Nice
right.
smooth log.
A nice smooth log.
And then
So,
chop, chop, chop.
all right. So why don't I roll it out and then you roll it into a log? What do you think?
Log roll.
Teamwork makes the dream work for the log rolling time. So how is this looking, friends? What do you think of this bao dough?
I think we're okay.
I think we're okay. I think we're okay. It's looking all right. Let me think. It certainly will. Carl, you want to come here and give it a go? How should we roll this out? What do you? Just like this? All right, come over here like this. Give it a go. Do you? Let's see this go. Let's see. All right, Carl, you start rolling. Carl's gonna, if it needs more water, let me know, Carl, because we can add water. I am gonna take this really
So are we
wet.
not gonna have too much dough now that we made 2 batches?
Well, this dough's gonna have to rise for an hour and a half, so we'll just have extra dough and we'll just bake it off again.
I get it.
We
Like
can
this.
make a bao baguette.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna pull this off here.
this is beautiful.
It is really nice. Looks good to me. This is what
That's
your
your
dough looks like
Before.
dough. This is your after bao dough and this is your before bao dough.
But
Your bao dough. Oh, your bao dough. My God.
tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. Okay, here we are. Gonna grab this and put it into this bowl
Cover.
and cover that bowl up again.
So I've seen people cover with a damp cloth. Do you think that would make any kind of difference?
I don't know, but I think that sounds good. I always cover with a cloth, so I don't know. I
Maybe
never
that's
use
tradition.
saran.
Maybe that's tradition.
But I'm happy doing it with the saran for now, and I'm gonna put this back here.
Oh, yeah?
For the warmth, but not in the heat. Because you don't want to kill your yeast like Carl was talking about. Look at that.
Pizza style.
Look at that, pizza style. I get it with the flour, he takes me out with the bao dough.
Like a baseball bat.
Like a baseball bat. Well, he's got that, I got this, so I think we're okay. We're evenly matched. What do you
I
think?
knew we would be fighting. But
Always, we always fight. We always fight. That's what friends are for. You fight.
So now what I saw was he cut it into little chunks
Let's do it.
like this.
Let's do it.
And then there's a technique for those. too,
All right, so let's,
Yeah.
yes, the rolling technique is coming up next.
We're gonna chop it, chop.
And we do have a hot tip about the rolling technique. We do. That's
a good one.
I think that's a great one. So Carl is chopping this up. We won't get into our hot tip yet, but we will shortly.
This,
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Look at these nice fine cuts here. Look at that.
the dough turned out great.
The dough
actually,
turned out
yeah.
really well. It looks great, Carl.
I don't know sizing, we'll see.
That's
These
okay,
might be
we'll just do
little,
our
these might be
best.
big.
We're supposed to have 14. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We ended up with 10.
They're gonna be big.
It's all right. Big bow. We like big bow. Let's put these out. All right.
That'd be a good t-shirt.
All right. It would be a good t-shirt. All right. So the
So-
first thing,
Yeah, you go ahead. Whatever
you sure? Do you want to talk about
You
it?
roll like this?
Yeah, I always roll mine like this. Well, I don't know. I've never rolled bow before, but I roll my buns like this.
Bun roll.
Bun rolling the buns. All right.
This.
What do you think? All right. So once you're in shape there, his recommendation was rolling out from the center. So your hot tip today, is rolling your bun dough out in a circle and leaving what in the middle, Carl?
It was like a little mound. I don't want to say nipple, but that's what it is. You kind of roll out all around the center, so you leave a little mound in the center. So the dough is a bit thicker, and the bottom where you'd actually scoop your filling, because we're gonna fold the sides up, and that's another story. We'll see how that goes.
All right, we will see how that goes.
And
So,
just over and over, yeah, spread it out. But
so it's the hot tip is patience.
I think so.
Patience. All right. So this is
Yeah, just like that.
just like that, Carl.
I guess so.
All right, ladies who've seen bao being made. What do you
They're
think?
laughing at
Are you
us.
laughing? And that's the thing. And we also need the other hot tip is your parchment. So your parchment has to be pre-cut.
I've got it. I forgot my scissors.
It's all right. Don't worry about the scissors too
We're
much.
gonna just rip it rustic style.
Yeah, but we're gonna rip it rustically into squares. Carl's pretty good with shapes and sizes. Maybe.
And is that a 3-inch round, a 4-inch round? About what size?
About a 3-inch round.
That might be too big. I'm thinking. I think I cut them a bit big.
Well, that's all
That
right.
looks okay.
That looks okay.
Yeah, you got your little.
My little mound in the middle. All right, so that's good. So I'm pressing down around the outside. There's one.
Okay, I'll
So
just keep rolling. And
He'll
you
keep rolling
spreading.
and I'll keep spreading. Okay, so here we go. So here's what it looks like.
Beautiful,
Beautiful.
beautiful.
All right, so here we go again.
So what's the center mound for?
It's just so you have a thicker bottom for steaming, because the steam's coming from the bottom. This was just a tip. I don't know if this is the traditional way, but apparently it gets thinner on the edges.
You know, when you roll out the dough, you
Yes.
just use your palm to press
your
it down first.
Okay.
Yeah, you press it down, spread, and then you roll it out. It's easier.
That's more her style. anyway.
Thank you, Stella. Thank
Yeah.
you. So there you go, your hottest tip.
Yeah, see,
Forget the roller, use
Yeah.
your palm.
get your hands dirty.
Press and then press it down the dough, and then you roll out a little bit even. That's it.
Oh,
If I
thank
use
you.
my knuckles.
Thank you
Save a
so
lot
much,
of
Kari. That is so helpful. And look, it looks better already.
Palms
Thank
are good.
you.
Use what you got.
Use what you got. Use
You-
what the good Lord gave
Your
you.
own body.
Yeah, there you go. Or use what evolution gave you, really whatever you believe. All right, here we go. All right, very good.
Oh, you know what? This mine is a perfect circle.
Yeah, a perfect circle. Are you, boy, you're into music today. All right, here we go.
That's high school stuff.
High school
I
stuff.
remember.
All right, here we are. Perfect circle. Carl, such a cheese ball. Sorry, friends.
Cheese ball. Speaking of balls here,
Yeah, tell me. Tell me more,
I
Carl.
don't know.
We're just
This baker talk. It's
Yeah.
like locker room talk. but
locker
for
room
baking.
talk for baking.
Baking.
All right, so
Baking
here we
room.
go. The bow's looking good. The bow is on point.
We're getting there, aren't we?
So we're getting there with our little, they look like little mini spaceships to me. They
Little
do.
UFOs.
Little UFOs.
That's how you know you
So
did it.
that's how you know. So here we are. We're rolling this out again.
Okay.
Looking good, Carl.
Well, we haven't got to the hardest part
No.
yet.
Oh, God.
We're gonna try different ways because
We are.
we may have messed this up already. It
I
Couldn't
don't
hurt to
know.
mess it up.
Couldn't
again.
hurt to do it again.
As long as it's closed. But
Yeah.
there's real fancy ways you can do the top, like
Oh,
pleating. Yeah, pleating the dough
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
We'll see.
We'll give it a go.
I can show you what I think it's supposed to look like.
Okay, I'll be interested to see, Carl.
Let's see. Should I get the pork filling?
Yeah, let's see how it's doing. How does it feel? Is it cool?
Pork.
Is it, well, I'm sure it's porky. It's pork filling.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, porky.
There we go. That's looking not right. Okay. Yeah, I do. Here we go.
Okay,
Gonna flatten that just slightly. There we go.
so do you want me to try one?
Yeah, Carl,
Let's
you
see.
go ahead and
Let's see.
try
Here
one.
is a big moment.
Let's give it a go and see what happens.
So I'm gonna take one of your
Yeah,
first
take
ones.
the first one.
And then we're gonna see.
So we're gonna take some.
So you're supposed to add more than you think, is what I was told.
All right.
Everybody can see here. I'll pull it up.
How's that look, everyone?
Right in the middle.
In the middle.
Oh boy.
All right, good luck to you.
Never done anything like, so he pleated it. Oh my gosh, this isn't gonna work, eh?
It looks like a lot.
Yeah, maybe yeah, see, that's it. You fold and fold, oh, I may have added too much, eh? Yeah, I'm learning, folks.
That's okay.
We're watching and learning.
We're giving it a try, and that's
Yeah.
what's important, friends. So let's see how it's coming. Hey, that's okay. You just do you. Do your best. That's what matters.
We'll know whose or whose.
Yeah, well, now, come on. You don't know. You haven't even seen mine yet.
Well, you're the
Let's
baker.
see. I am the baker. That does not mean that I am the assistant.
Oh,
Well,
that's beautiful. Look,
necessarily
I
the
got
best.
it. I got it. I
You
got it.
got it. You see, you did it. I knew you could do it. Can you twist it at the top? Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can.
can
Carl,
do
you did a good job.
It's not bad.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
My first time looking
Pretty
at
good.
it. Eh,
Good job, Carl.
Close it.
Close it?
Close it?
Yeah, close it.
Yeah. So it cooks in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well
You
done,
know what?
Carl.
It's not bad. It's
I
okay.
think
That's
it's
my
great.
first bow. Okay.
I think it's great, Carl.
Yeah, no,
Congratulations. You did a good
Are you gonna
job.
try? Let's see.
I'm gonna
Let's see
try.
how
So
you
let's
do.
see how mine goes. I don't know. Trying to pull it out. I don't know. So
Hey, we're
please-
having fun, right?
yeah, that's it. So
That's
we
it.
are having a good time. And that's really what matters is that you are having a good time when you're
Oh,
cooking.
look at that. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So, I know it's hard.
Sorry.
It's, you can't let go until it's closed, you know what I mean? Oh, look at this little guy.
I got some squeezing out the top here, but
Yeah, too much pork.
a little too much pork, but I'll just pull that off the top.
Oh, we're running late today.
We
You guys
are
can
running
stick
late
around a
today.
bit?
Everybody all right?
We're gonna steam them.
All right, so here we go. There's my baby. It's not perfect, but it
And
is.
then they close it
They'll
if you
close it.
can.
Yeah, if I can, I'll close it up. So here we go.
Clean it.
Squeezing at the top, cleaning
Clean
it
it
at the top. All right, there's my baby.
This is something you get good at over time, I think.
I think so too. I
Because
do
knowing-
think. Not bad.
Knowing
Yeah,
how
not
much. you put in.
All right.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. We are gonna do, let's try, because I think we can fit 4, right?
We got 2 layers on our steamer.
Oh,
so
we got
could
2
actually
layers. We can do 8?
yeah.
All right, so let's give her a go. We're gonna give her a go and give it a go
Give
again.
it a go.
Give it a
These are
go.
all opening again. No, they don't want to be closed.
They don't want to be closed. But you know what? It gives you a real respect for people who do this.
They're
Like
beautiful. When
they
you,
are
when you see the real
so
ones,
beautiful.
yeah.
They are
You don't want to
amazing.
eat them.
And it's so like when you see people who know what they're doing make them, it's so quick and seamless and incredible.
Oh, that's way too much work.
So-
That's tough for me to judge how much. Also, I think we could have worked the dough a little longer to make
Maybe.
it thinner
I think you're right.
with our hands,
But
but let's
that's
just
okay.
get through it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
My little parcel.
Are they getting better or worse as we go? That's what I wonder.
Let's see. So my first one I have to squeeze again. So that's 2. I'm going to twist the top.
Oh, twisting.
Twist the top to keep it closed. So there's my second. So I need to twist my second one as
Twist it up.
well.
Oh, that,
Twist
you know,
it
that
up.
almost makes it look nicer.
It does. It makes it look cute when you twist it. I mean, again, they don't look traditional, but they look cute. They're like little Bao baby,
These are
Cuties.
These are pretty good. Let's show them.
little baby cuties.
Fix this guy here. Maybe you can help me fix.
Of course, I can help you twist.
My fingers are too big
Your fingers aren't
for
too
this.
big.
I got big old sausage fingers.
You're all right, Carl. You're doing just
But
fine.
delicate work is tricky, you know?
Delicate work is tricky, but it's all right. Here we go.
I'm gonna actually spread this out a bit.
Yeah, spread it out a little more and that'll probably help us. There we go. I mean, some of this might just come open. I mean, I think what we have to recognize is that we are very new to making this. So they might not be perfect, but we're doing our best.
You know what? If we make them, they're perfect.
We're calling it an homage,
Yeah.
an homage to Bao.
This is our attempt.
This is our attempt to Bao. This is a layman's attempt at Bao. We can only get better as we practice.
Yep.
And also,
And don't get discouraged. Try new things.
that's
you know?
right. And
Hey,
eat
Jen.
more ourselves. Hey, Jennifer.
You coming on the show?
Jennifer makes amazing Bao. Jennifer does a great job of Bao.
Oh,
They're
so
not
it's
perfect.
okay. Yeah, you're-
Here we go. But Jennifer is an amazing cook and she makes a really, really good Bao. You hear her saying no in the background, but she's a really good cook. And she really helps us in the kitchen so much. We miss her.
Well, she's right there.
She is. We miss having her cook. We miss having her cook is what I'm
Whoa,
saying.
We're gonna reach around.
Here
reach
we go.
through.
The
That's-
reach, the good old reach around, huh?
you
What
know
does that mean?
Don't
What?
go there.
Why?
And it's funny because you can tell we've been cooking together for a while because we will do that. We'll
Yeah,
around each other.
we're good friends.
Friends and enemies at the same time.
Frenemies.
Yeah. You know, these don't look too bad. We did okay.
We did all right.
I'm impressed, actually. I thought these would be exploding and I'm gonna put the second layer on all the
Okay.
steamer.
Here we go. Getting there.
That's pretty good.
That's a baby. Thank you, Mary. All right, so we got a couple more coming and then we'll be good.
I'm gonna cut you some parchment.
Oh, thank you, Carl. That's very thoughtful.
Scraps
Do
this
cut some
scissors real
parchment,
quick.
sir.
No,
And I love that.
Let me get you back for that flour.
Ah, you get me back. Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
should
cut
get me
your
back.
hair.
He does get a little bit out of shape when I sprinkle flour.
Well-
He was mad for a good 15 seconds. I could feel it in the vibe.
I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, he
Everyone has
wasn't
black
vibing the
shirt.
flour.
Come on.
Yeah, but I could have vacuumed you up. We have a vacuum.
Oh, you're a bad boss.
Why I'm not a bad boss.
Evil boss.
Evil bosses.
Sorry.
I know. I'm. Oh, is there a show like I should be on that movie with Jennifer Aniston. She was so funny in that movie. That
What was
Sad
it?
Boss.
That was a good one.
Oh my God, she was awful. That was like the best acting I've ever seen her do.
Little squares of parchment, and each one is gonna sit on one in the steam.
Oh, Carl, before you put the bun on the paper, put a little bit oil or butter so that it won't stick to the paper.
Thank you. I've still
Stella's
got,
second hot tip.
Yeah.
Thank you,
so
Stella.
I've still got some of our rendered pork fat. I'm gonna just use my
Oh.
finger. Everybody see my whole finger?
No, I did not. There we go.
And I'm gonna rub some on the parchment paper. Good idea.
I accidentally ripped this, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in
Are
here.
ya?
Oh, man.
Okay, you know what? These are great. We're professionals.
Professional. I don't know about that. We're working on it. We are working on it. We appreciate you though, because you help us.
Good attitude.
We do always have a good attitude.
Sometimes.
Mostly.
And we're gonna lay these out with some space between them in case they expand,
How
right?
long do they need to steam for, Carl?
10 to 12 minutes.
10 to 12
Okay,
minutes.
watch your face.
Got it.
There we go.
Woo,
I might actually crank it after, but you might want to spread them out a bit.
woo, baby.
It's hot.
That is hot. Come on, baby Bao. You are about to bust.
Maybe about busting.
All right, there we go.
Well, you want to add more?
Yeah, I can add more if you're okay with it.
Oh, yeah, let's start. I actually don't have a second layer.
Oh, okay.
We ended up getting 2 steamers in the last minute there.
This is
Some
amazing.
nice people want to lend us things.
We love people who want to lend us things.
Becca, don't put too many because it will expand.
Oh, okay. Is that enough?
Yeah, you have to keep a space between each one
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
because
gonna,
it will expand.
okay, we're gonna leave them.
Yeah, don't
Don't
squeeze,
put any more.
too much together.
Close it
There's
up.
too much in
Yeah.
there, Stella?
Don't squeeze too many.
Okay, we won't put
Yeah,
any
it's
more.
okay.
Put these for now. We'll show you when they're done and we'll cook the rest
We
later.
promise we won't put any more. Thank you, Stella. Really
Okay,
appreciate
next
that feedback.
And also, if you take off the steamer lid at any point, they can just fall. So you really want to leave that covered. Let me just set it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll do 10 minutes.
All right, we're gonna do our 10 minutes and we're gonna see how we go.
We're ready. You ready?
All right, you ready, Freddie? Let's see this stuff. I'm gonna bring this over.
How are we gonna get them on plate?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, they exploded.
It exploded. Okay, so guys, we failed a little bit, but it wasn't like a complete hard fail.
Let me get,
Are open. Stella is laughing. I'm sorry, friend,
you know what? It's gonna be good.
but we tried really hard.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
It really did get bigger. She wasn't.
Stella, look how big it got. You were
Yeah.
so right, Stella.
You know what? They're still.
John barbecue pop bun.
Yes, I'm sorry that they're open. Really,
No, no,
I am.
This is our new take. It's called
Yeah,
open.
you have to really close well.
Yeah, you really do have to close them well. And is there a trick to making them stay closed, Stella? Like really pinching, I guess?
I think.
No, you just press the dough together, that's it.
Oh, okay. So we'll do that next time.
Very hot. Yeah, for they stick together.
Thank you, Stella. I appreciate that. Yeah, and look at our baby one got
Okay.
That's the
giant.
one you're gonna try.
All right, so this is the one we're gonna try. We're gonna put these ones aside to cool off for a second. We are gonna cut one and try it. Carl's gonna put the
Looks
other one in
good.
the steamer. Do you think they look good, Stella?
Okay.
Yeah.
Give them an extra pinch, Carl.
Give them an extra pinch.
Pinch it.
I think Yorick likes them. All right, just a second. Let me grab.
Pinch it up.
Pinch it up, baby.
So my dough's gone a bit hard, but hey,
Okay.
you know what? These are perfectly good.
Yeah.
They're just not the best.
Your barbecue pop bun look like they are all laughing.
They do.
Open their mouth.
They do look like they're laughing. They're like, ha ha, suckers. Did you think you could do this? We're kidding. All right, we're gonna put this in the front. Here we go. So these can cool off. Beautiful.
You're gonna eat one.
I'm gonna eat one. Carl, you gonna have some?
I wanna watch you eat it.
He's gonna watch me eat it. Okay,
I'll
step
have
back.
one in a bit.
The mask comes down. Okay, Yorick, you put your mask on because mine isn't. All right, so
Is it hot? I got this real sweet smell from the steamer, the buns. You know what I mean? How's that? Good? It's good. Just doesn't look.
It's good, guys.
Doesn't look pretty.
Good.
but they're tasty.
Yeah.
Actually, they do look kind of good.
You know what?
It's amateur hour over here. There we go.
It is amateur hour, but can I tell you something?
They're good,
The
eh?
feedback that you folks gave us today was amazing because these taste awesome. They just don't look awesome, but they taste awesome.
Yeah. And I think that was the fun part, learning along with you guys. You can watch us learn what to do and not to do.
How's the bun? Is it fluffy?
Uh-huh.
Very fluffy.
Good.
Nice sweet smell
Yeah.
from it.
It's tasty. It's tasty.
Good, eh? We did
I
good.
love it. Thank you so much for your help today, friends. Honestly, it's super yum.
Yep,
I need a little more soy sauce because I'm a salty baby.
yeah.
But honestly, thank you. And I hope you enjoy making these at home as much as we do and that your buns do not explode like ours did.
Or you can really appreciate the ones that you get that are perfect. And
Yes.
Somebody is a master of that.
A
This
master.
takes a lot of time to get good at.
It does. It really is an art. And baking this kind of style is an art and a science.
Yeah.
So well done. We have mad respect
Yeah.
for those of you who do make
If
amazing
you can
bao.
keep them closed, these are open faced bows.
Open
We
face.
invented it. So, new stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, we're gonna own it.
And,
Open face
and
bao.
how
Oh, some good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty
We're
We can
getting
also
into
do
that
baked squash
season.
too. There's a few things we can do. Why don't we do like squash three ways? A smorgasbord of squash.
Triple squash.
Triple
Are
squash.
you gonna do squash challenge?
Yeah.
Squash
Wow.
challenge? Wanna do squash challenge?
A
We-
squash
We
challenge.
each bring a recipe to cook and our ingredient is squash. But we can
Alright.
do whatever we want with it. We're each gonna have a battle.
Show
Squash
up this
challenge.
next week, friends, because we are gonna have our battle. It's our third battle
I
of
called it. I
squash.
called it. I
He
gotta-
called it. He's gonna get
I
upset.
gotta follow through.
He's gotta follow through. You're the judge along with Melissa.
Squash battle.
Squash battle it is. All right, friends. It was so awesome to see all of you this week. We really appreciate you being here. We love you and we hope that we'll see you again in other classes this week.
Yeah.
And we hope for sure that we'll see you next week. It is so nice to have you with us. So
Thank you.
be well, friends.
Thank you.